What is up, bros and hoes? It's MiDNiTE, and today I'm bringing you guys some gameplays from my live stream. So I'm sorry it's not the super crispest quality as it would be if I just recorded it by myself, but I got some really cool gameplay here on this map. I think it was an 18 kill streak or something like that in the middle of this with my gun. So I thought I'd definitely share that with you guys. And I just wanted to talk to you guys about what is wrong with the World War II beta. Now, obviously, since the first weekend of the beta, we still have a lot of feedback to give after we play the second week. And I noticed that, I'm going to link to all this stuff down in the description below also, but I noticed that that Sledgehammer has listed, a list of things that they're going to be fixing for week 2, or just things that they're going to be looking into. And a lot of them were actually complaints that I and the other, other people in the community had, and that's why they're kind of adjusting things. And so that's really a good sign. They're kind of responding immediately to a lot of this stuff. But I did notice today also that Call of Duty tweeted out a survey link for people to fill out that played the beta with their thoughts. It asks you to rate things in a certain way, so like your experience with the maps, your experience with the guns, or whatever. It has you rating, and then at the end, there is a spot where you can type, I believe, an unlimited amount of words, which is really good, obviously. And I thought I would, number one, let you guys know that you can do that, because I think whether you have good feedback, bad feedback, whatever feedback, any and all feedback that you can submit, I think is going to be a good thing. Obviously, if you have the community intertwined with all this feedback, and then that intertwines the development of the game, and just it's able to make it a Call of Duty that we can all enjoy, you know what I mean? So overall, I know a lot of the stuff that I'm about to list is it sounds negative and it sounds like I hated the beta, but I actually really enjoyed the beta. I think the core of the game feels good. I feel like anything that I don't like can be adjusted or fixed in the future. So I don't have any serious problems with the game. I think the core of the game feels great to me. But here's a bunch of things that I actually ended up submitting with my feedback, and I hope that I'll be able to fill out this survey again at the very end of week 2, which is where we're hopefully going to get a little bit more content and also just maybe see some of these adjustments in real time that they've made. So the first thing, obviously, that you notice about Call of Duty is the guns. I really enjoyed the guns in the beta. My favorite was the STG, obviously. Also really like the Type 100. Put rapid fire extended magazine grip on that thing, and you are just going to shred city. And so that's where I went all weekend with those two. I did really like the sniping as well. I didn't particularly like how much auto-aim was on the sniper, and I really didn't particularly like the 4x scope. It felt very easy to use. You can just snap to people with it, with the auto-aim combined with how fast the scope moves. So I'm not sure about that. I really would hope they would take auto-aim off of the snipers only for the final game, as they've done in the most recent Call of Duties, but we'll have to see. I don't know, I think that maybe this is because of the maps, but I did notice that oftentimes I would find myself switching back to like a submachine gun, like the PPSH or the Type 100, just because of the maps, where it felt like some of the choke points on them were very narrow and small. There's really no huge long lines of sight. Give that guy a taco slam. I'm not sure why I did that. But I can talk about the maps a little bit later. I want to go through kind of what my feedback was so far. One thing I really actually did like was War Mode. It was way more fun than I anticipated. I saw a lot of my YouTuber pals posting gameplay of War Mode, and to me it just looked like, oh, that's a cool game mode, whatever. It really didn't interest me that much, but once I played it, I think it's fantastic. I think it's fantastic that your KD isn't affected. It doesn't even count your deaths. You can only see the objective work you're doing and how many kills you got. One thing that alarms me a little bit about the game is the divisions. It seems like the attributes for the certain divisions are pretty cool in my book, with the exception of, I believe it's the marksman one. I might be having this wrong. One of them has dead silence, and it's tied to that particular division. So, and there's also a flak jacket that's tied to a particular division as well. So if you want to protect yourself against nades, you have to choose that guy. If you want to have silent footsteps, which I think most people do in Search and Destroy, they're going to be forced to use that guy. Anything in the game that forces you to use it to compete is not good. In my opinion, I would like to see Dead Silence and maybe even Flak Jacket become a basic training perk, because here's what I'm going to say about the basic training perks. They're all cool, and they're not called perks, but in reality they are. They're still perks in Call of Duty. They're just disguised into these divisions in this basic training. Only 2 or 3 of them I found to be very effective. The one that makes the minimap larger, the one that shows the display name of the enemies from longer distances, and also the one with extra nades was great for objective active game modes. But other than that, and the gung ho one, the one where you could run around with a submachine gun, sprinting and firing, I think that is actually pretty OP. So there's really only a few good ones out of like 10 listed, right? Or however many it was, which I don't really know if I vibe with that. We'll have to see how it kind of shakes out. So back to the maps, I really liked the theme of each map. Each map was decorated nicely. It's very nice. And this is, I mean, I feel like all the maps are pretty medium to small in the beta. It's really hard to judge the maps when you only have a small portion of them. But if you look back to like the Black Ops 3 beta, for instance, you had a large map in Hunted, a small map in Combine, a medium map in Evac, and then they eventually released Stronghold 2, which was kind of medium but had really cool lines of sight. And so these maps, although they're not very super small, it seems like there's small areas to them. Like this middle area on this Ardennes map is very small. You can't like just sit up and like scope a whole portion of the map. You really gotta intertwine your way through the different little nooks and crannies and the choke points, and I found that when I was doing that with like anything but a submachine gun, I would just get hosed down, and I really wasn't into that. We're switching over to a little streak or little gameplay I got with the incendiary shotgun, but my least favorite part about the beta, here you go, I'm gonna lay it on you. It's the kill streaks, or the score streaks. I do not like the score streaks. I feel like they're so weak. And it's not that I want all of the score streaks to be OP. That's definitely not where I'm coming from. But when you have a score streak like the paratroopers that, they're there and you work hard, you get however many, 12, 13, 14, whatever kills it is to get them. I got them multiple times and never at one point saw them get more than 2 or 3 kills. I think the most they ever got me was 3, and it was on this map. And so that's wildly disappointing. I feel like they die too easily. They don't kill fast enough. I want them to act, since they're automated and they drop in, I want it to be like Raps or like dogs from previous Call of Duties, right? I want it to go do work. And then the other score streaks, the artillery barrage, I think I've maybe only ever got like 2 kills with it. I like the glide bomb. Glide bomb was by far my favorite one, and the UAV. I feel like the UAV was the most effective score streak for me. I was able to call it in and find enemies faster than any score streak would be able to do. So, I don't know. Obviously, these aren't all the score streaks in the game, but I would like to see them do better, especially those higher tier ones. And I think there's like some kind of ball turret gunner or something like that that's going to be in the full game. I'm really curious to see how that one plays. I'm really excited about that. But for the most part, I'm pretty disappointed with the score streak so far. I did see that they are going to adjust the paratroopers for weekend 2, so we'll have to see how that goes. And also, it hasn't been announced yet, and I know that you can get like a 30 streak medal, but I would love to see an actual nuke score streak, or maybe a gun streak, actually, like a 25 or 30 gun streak. You can do like a DNA bomb from AW, or you can do a nuke. I think that would be amazing. Please add that, Sledgehammer. And also, for the paratroopers, can you please make it so the arrows are differentiated on the minimap? That'd be sick. Anyway, that's what I think about score streaks. My least favorite part about the game so far. The time to kill, or even I've seen people call it bullet reg on Twitter, it seems to be wildly discussed because it definitely feels different than I thought it would. I thought they might make this game similarly to Modern Warfare Remastered, how fast you kill people in that game. I'm so glad they actually haven't. The time to kill is pretty high. It almost feels like Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2. You really gotta... It's not about who sees who first. You really got to outmaneuver. You have to outstrafe. You have to outshoot your opponent. And I actually super like that. I know that a lot of people don't. I've seen in my Twitch chat, my Twitter, just people talking about the game. I really like it. I didn't have any problem with hit reg. I felt like all the bullets that I hit, and all the bullets that I missed. You know what I mean? That's what it felt like to me. I only lagged in like 1 or 2 games all of the first weekend, knock on wood. Hopefully it's the same way in weekend 2. But I actually really like it. I like that you have to really put in bullets to get the kill. And it's not about who sees who first. It's about strafing and hitting your shots. And I really like that. On the flip side, that kind of sucks if you're going for any kind of multi-kill, like a triple kill or a quad feed. It's very hard to get unless you have extended mags, or you just reload, or have a second weapon. Like, I even found myself going for quad feeds, and I would be rocking overkill so I could just switch to another weapon, which is kind of ridiculous. So, I don't know. If anything, I wouldn't be mad if they made it a teeny tiny bit faster. But for the most part, it seems like it takes like 4 or 3 solid bullets to really kill a guy, which I kind of like. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and also in when you give feedback for the beta. So this has been a common thing in Call of Duty, is the flinch when you're shooting people. So in this game, I noticed there's hardly any recoil on these guns, especially once you have grip. They shoot pretty straight. But when you're in a head-to-head gunfight with somebody, it obviously, you flinch up, they flinch up, and this can sometimes lead to people getting easy or not on purpose headshots, right? Like an easy kill. And you combine that fact with the fact that there's high caliber in this game, you can really melt people in the face just by accidentally getting flinched and shooting them in the face, right? I don't like that. My least favorite attachment in the game is high caliber. I don't really like it in Call of Duty. Now, this is a higher time to kill Call of Duty. You really do gotta hit him and hit him in the face to get a headshot, so I could see maybe that's where they're putting high caliber to kind of help with that if you're grinding for camos or challenges. I get it, but I'm not a fan of high caliber in the game. I would rather it wasn't in, and I would rather, instead of flinch, have recoil on the guns. Like, I would rather just have higher recoil that you have to control instead of just getting a lucky flinch headshot. What else can I say? Here we go. Let's bitch about the sound. The sound actually sounds really good. It's very loud. Everything's very loud. The one thing I didn't like about the sound was how low the footsteps were. You can hear them, but there's so many other just loud sounds happening in the game that it's very hard to differentiate where they're stepping. And if you're going to have an effective dead silence perk, like or not a perk, a division thing that's dead silence, I never got more than like 2 kills with this kill streak the whole time. Also, I didn't really like that. Man, I feel like I'm just bitching, but I'm trying to just highlight negative things so that hopefully they can maybe at least take it in consideration, maybe go about fixing some of these things. But yeah, footsteps I think could be louder. And I also am not sure how I feel about the callouts. I felt like the battle chatter sounds, like if your guy's saying reloading or throwing or see a guy in a trench, your character is saying that. So I don't always know when or if my character is saying that, but I can always hear the enemies and my teammates calling out. And so that's how I was kind of sound whoring people. It was a really weird way to sound hoard people. But that's how I was getting a lot of kills also, was just listening to the callouts, listening for people shooting or reloading. I didn't particularly like the menu layout. I got used to it eventually, but I feel like they could definitely change the party layout. I have to like L trigger or whatever over to social and then scroll over to see who's in my party. I would rather just know who's in my party just by looking at the social section maybe. I'm not sure how they could change it, but I'd like to just easier be able to see who's in my party and what's going on. Other than that, man, I really like play the game. Like I said, the core of the game feels great. I know it sounds like I'm saying just a bunch of negative things in this video, but I'm really just trying to give my feedback and what I think Call of Duty could be better with, because I'm a very passionate Call of Duty player, and I think I really want the best for this game this year. And so I know not maybe my opinion's always right. Just because I'm a popular YouTuber, I don't think my opinion should be valued higher than others. That's why I encourage you guys to go fill out the survey. They did not ask me or tell me to tell you guys to do this. I'm just doing this because I think it's important. I think you guys should go fill out the survey with your thoughts and ratings on things. And also, if you feel like, please go ahead in the comment section below and share your thoughts too. What did you think about Beta Weekend 1? What could be better? What could be worse, I guess? What did you like? What did you not like, if you have the time to fill that out? Overall, the beta left me really wanting more, which is the definite point of it. And I think it's going to be really good. I think the core of the game is really good, and I'm very excited. So, I don't know. I'm excited to learn more. I appreciate you guys watching the video today, though. I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay in the background as well. Leave your thoughts down below, and I'm going to link to all the stuff I talked about in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe so you don't miss future videos, and I'll catch you next time. Peace!